Hi, this is Little Dwarf playing games while rambling incoherently into a microphone. Why? Well, just because I can, and I continue with the Outer Worlds Blind. Now, I really hope this episode goes better than the last one, because last time I died like 30 times in a row. But I still haven't visited the actual community center. There are more marauders inside, and I still need to get medicine from inside, so that's why I came back here. I'll go by the side entrance, because I do remember there was a side door. First aid room key. All right. I do wonder if they all get alerted at once, or do I have more of a chance to sort of take them bit by bit? Okay, I think they are somewhat fragmented in their response, which is good for me. Possible divisional championships this Saturday, only at Antibiotics Sports Arena. Rizzo's Rangers versus Anti-Cleo's Darlings. Okay, so I think this is the front door, actually. Logs. History of the Emerald Vale exhibit. The history of the Emerald Vale, once complete, will display the proud heritage of our settlement for generations to come. Decorating the main hall of our noble community center, this elaborate diorama of memorabilia of our settlement's founding will embody the hard-working spirit of our spacer family. The centerpiece of the grand exhibit will be a taxidermied mantis queen, erected within our main lobby as a sign of civilization's victory over nature itself. Director Pickett. Coming soon, Mantis Queen. Feast your eyes on the great frilled Mantis Queen, sovereign of her nest, imported from the wilds of Terra 1 to thrill and excite our imagination. Obviously it's not there yet. Canid. Canids can be found all over Emerald Vale in two distinct varieties, domesticated and feral. Feral canids hunt in packs, while domesticated canids can be loyal companions. It is important to remember that the canid is still a wild animal and should be treated with caution. This display, fashioned to resemble a pair of mighty primals, required extensive field research. Let us have a moment of silence for the researchers who gave their lives in pursuit of authenticity. Saltuna. If the oceans and rivers are the hearts and veins of Emerald Vale, then the Saltuna is our highly profitable blood. These meaty fish live in the ocean and migrate upstream during mating season. Saltuna are semelparous, which means they perish after a single reproductive cycle. That's when our trusty Spacer's Choice harvesters scoop up their corpses to be cleaned, processed, canned, and delivered straight to your dinner table. Wait, so they were making it from fish that were already dead? I guess if they fish them out freshly dead, then that doesn't really make that much of a difference. And in fact, I will perhaps applaud the dedication to, not actually killing it themselves. But it seems to me like that's possibly a recipe for getting some kind of a disease. Okay, that's the other side from this. Welcome, Director Pickett. Hello, Mr. Pickett. This letter is to update you regarding your request for one adult mantis queen. As you may remember, our trackers discovered a beautiful specimen out in the wild. Per your approval, we deployed a team of our highly skilled hunters to kill it for you. We regret to inform you that the entire team has perished. Please expect an invoice from our office, including the cost of their graveyard fees, as stipulated in our contract. Additionally, we must ask you to cover the cost of all of the equipment damaged, corroded, dissolved, eaten or digested, partially or otherwise. Thank you for your patronage. Please allow me the opportunity to offer you the opportunity to purchase a second hunting expedition at a 10% discount. I look forward to hearing from you. Sincerely, Hunters and Trackers Ltd. Teaching the fauna of Halcyon the cruel realities of existence. From Trammell. Please stop. Director Beckett, I must lodge a complaint. Your obsession with the Mantic Queen is wasting all of our budget and holding up development on our entire exhibit. This has to stop. Lamont Trammell, Financial Officer. Keycards. Everyone, the keycard encoder in the lobby is back up and running. Hopefully it won't go on the fritz again and start shooting keycards at anyone who walks by. As a reminder, in the case it does break again, you can borrow a keycard from the director or one of the workers in the second floor office if you lose your card. Yeah, I do have a card already. And I assume that's where the medicine is that I need. Who ate my lunch? Okay, so it's time to get to the upper floor. I think there are still some enemies around. Guide to Mechanical Engineering, Volume 1. Okay, I really hope I can find someone to trade with at the deserters encampment. And also that I do not die in the meantime. Hopefully. Okay, I don't think there are any marauders around here. Wait, was I here before? Scorched Journal. After sneaking parts of the industrial sector for a couple days, I think I have finally everything to build my own flying death machine. However, upon closer inspection, I am not entirely sure all of these components will fit together properly. It's not like the board would build their mechanicals with custom tooled parts, right? Everything would have to be modular for all of those mechanicals to run efficiently. I'll tool around the things for a bit and see what I can put together. After a few hours of experimentation, things are starting to come together, but I still don't have it down to an exact science. For instance, there's something wrong with the memory processing core that I can't seem to sort out. When I tried to install it, The unit made a loud buzzing sound and refused to respond to any feedback. I removed it, whacked it with a wrench a couple times, and then it seemed to stop the buzzing. Things seemed they were working for a few seconds after I installed it again, but now there's a sharp clicking noise every few seconds, and the damn thing's right stabilizer won't stop twitching. I'll try removing the processing core again and giving it a few more good whacks. That'll learn it. I think I was here before. You know, that would explain all of the bodies and why the place is already looted. I don't think I was here though. I'll go to the outlaws, to the deserters camp, because I hope I can find someone there to trade with. Because obviously I am currently over encumbered, which is pretty annoying.
Stranger, we don't want any trouble. I don't know you. Whatever you're looking for, it ain't here. Move along.
I'm looking for Adelaide. I need some answers.
Answers, huh? You must be one of those philosophicals. Already got ourselves one of those.
I'm looking for a geothermal plant. Know anything about it?
A geo what? Look, plants ain't my purview. You're better off asking after Adelaide. If you're gonna start wandering around my camp, know that I got my sights on you.
Where can I find Adelaide?
Over in the hothouse, tending crop. Enough with the questions. No offense, but I've got a lot on my mind.
Trouble with marauders?
You don't know what enough with the questions means? No, I'm sorry. That was unworthy of me. Lady named Zoe went missing some nights ago. Just up and vanished without a trace. Now I'm pacing around wondering if marauders got to her.
I'll keep an eye out.
It's not like Zoe to go wandering. Figured she might be out scavenging, but that ain't exactly her talent. Can't imagine where she's gone. Vale's a wide place. She could be anywhere.
Don't worry about it, I'll find her.
Appreciate it. Honest.
I have questions about her though.
I'll tell you what I can.
Any idea where she might be?
Vex me. If she told anybody, they ain't telling me. I'd check her room, but I got yelled at for snooping once already.
Snooped around in her room?
Little ways ago. She was always obsessing over her serial dramas. Wanted to see what the fuss was about.
How well do you know her?
Well enough to know we never got on. Zoe and Stefan were close. If anybody knows the workings of her mind, he does.
Maybe the marauders took her away.
Could be. Dangers aplenty out there. No telling why marauders would steal somebody like Zoe. Got no useful skills far as I could tell.
Any chance you could point me somewhere specific and not just out there?
Marauders Marauder gang just moved into the districts a little ways east. Their numbers are growing. Gotta come from somewhere.
Alright.
What is it?
Do any of you want to trade, maybe?
Keep your wits about you, friend. If you're hungry, Stefan's got supplies.
Okay. Maybe he sells them too. Stefan. That's just the person I was looking for.
You hungry? We got canid ribs, canid flank, canid snout too. Something I can help you with?
I'm told one of your numbers gone missing.
You mean Zoe? Yeah, we were pretty close. Not like her to go loping off.
Tell me a little about her.
Zoe was always obsessed with this serial. Masked Marketeer. A scion of Byzantium turns to banditry and teaches his marauder companions the wisdom of free market economics. Shame she up and vanished when she did. I had a surprise lined up for her. You sound like some type of corporate fixer asking all these questions.
What was that about surprising her?
The other day I got my hands on a genuine copy of the latest Masked Marketeer. I was gonna surprise Zoe with it, but she was gone the next day.
Was she acting strange before she disappeared?
Can't say I recall Zoe ever acting strange. Well, except for her habit of writing things down on scraps of paper. She called it journaling, but I think it's just plain odd.
So what happened on the day she disappeared?
Zoe and I were gonna watch the serials, as is our custom. She never turned up. I looked around, but she was nowhere to be found. Hey, I got time.
Okay, let's trade.
Fresh off the limb, and that includes canid meat.
Persuade +5. That's cool. I do still have a lot of mods, which I probably either should either use or sell, because they are quite heavy. I can sell this. Zoe's journal. Well, today's the day. This is the day you take your destiny into your own hands. I've been listening to Grace talk about Marauder Threat. Bands of wild, free-spirited bandits living in camps out in the hills, warming themselves by the light of the barrel fires. Probably mounted the heads of their enemies on spikes as a warning to folk like me, living a life of comfort and ease, free of any rules. I bet they could take the whole region if they were organized. I've been tucking away some of Adelaide's food, and I've got some spare cans of salt tuna. Should last me a couple weeks if I ration. Got some adrenatime too. Everyone loves adrenatime, even marauders, right? I got the odds those marauders will let me throw in with them if I dangle a couple of syringes before their eyes. This is gonna be great. Look out, Terra 2. Bandit Queen Zoe's origin story has just begun. I'm going to have a whole gang of marauders at my beck and call. Maybe I can even score some Rizzos. Okay, so that tells me where to look for her. That's it then. No more Edgewater for me. No more cannery, no more jumpsuits and gloves. Yes, ma'ams, and would you like another's? I don't know why I'm writing this down for posterity's sake, because I've always hated the cannery, and I don't think I'll ever have to look back to this journal many years hence and tell myself, oh wow, I did hail the Vale once, didn't I? Just because I got sick. Everybody gets sick. Well, okay, I got sick and I grabbed a little too much of adrenatime. Is that really a crime? I gotta treat myself when I'm sick, don't I? Whatever happened to personal responsibility and surviving by one's bootstraps? Oh, but you misappropriate one box of adrenatime and then suddenly you're committing larceny. Terror on Monarch with Ruth Bellamy as Halcyon Helen. Spencer Woolridge as Chief of the Savages, featuring real monsters from the doomed world. I don't necessarily want to steal it. I have learned when where she went, and I think that's enough for now.
If you're hungry, there's meat turning on the spit outside. If you're bearing illness, find a place to lay your head down and I'll fetch you a poultice. Whatever your troubles with Edgewater, leave them at the gates and be welcomed here. Any questions, dear?
You must be Adelaide.
I have been called that, among other things. Green Thumb, grandmother, the strange old lady who keeps flowers. But yes, Adelaide will do just fine.
Excuse me, Miss McDevitt? Sorry, it's just... You got such pretty trees in here.
Why, thank you. You're Robert's girl, aren't you? I remember when you were but a sprout. Thomas speaks of you often. Are you staying long? You should try some of my tobaccorn tea. I brew it in an old spittoon, but it's been cleaned.
Is this your greenhouse?
No, dear. The garden belongs to us all. Life is the gift of the universe, and the universe yields its bounty equally, absent of prejudice.
Surprised you've managed to grow anything out here.
The soil around the Vale went sour years ago, but I found a way to sweeten it back up. The secret recipe is a little bit of elbow grease, a dash of love, and a heaping pile of special fertilizer.
Looks like you've made a home for yourself out here.
A home for anyone who's ever turned their backs on Edgewater. A home for those of us with nowhere left to go and nothing to lose. So, like the spores of the puffball, cast on the wind and alighting on fresh soil, we put down new roots.
Why did you leave your own old home?
It is an unpleasant story, dear. But the short of it is that sometimes one wakes up and realizes the place that was once her home for much of her life has changed. The home in which we spent our lives has left us behind, and so we must move on. And that is as much as I will say on the subject.
Reed has sent me to make peace with you.
Reed Thompson? You here on behalf of that cold-eyed reptile? Let's hear it. What's Reed's idea of peace, then?
Reed asks you to consider coming back to town. He's willing to make amends.
Make amends? Spare me. Only thing Reed knows how to make is a mess. Like everything else that comes out of Edgewater, that peace offering is canned. I and my own are living just fine out here by ourselves.
Reed asked me to divert your power over to him. He mentioned a geothermal plant.
He would do such a thing. The question is, why would you agree to his plans?
Well, your camp has a power regulator I needed to repair my ship.
Cannery's got a regulator. You want ship parts, you ought to rip them out of the cannery's guts and leave us be. If you're going down to the plant, you should divert power away from Edgewater and toward our end of the grid. Think about it. You'd be liberating an entire town from a lifetime of service to that odious cannery. Seems the sort of thing a hero would do.
What have you against the town?
You've seen that miserable excuse for a town with your own lamps. Hollowed out workers laboring their lives away at the cannery, living off whatever scrap Spacer's choice throws them. You know that's true, don't you, Ms. Holcomb? Your father died of overwork. His heart gave out.
He was tired all the time, sure, but he was old, ma'am, and he raised me all by his lonesome.
Look what they did to this child. Lost her family to the company, and still she defends them.
Let's say I help you. What happens to Edgewater?
Life in Edgewater grinds to a halt. The cannery shuts down, workers desert in droves, and our own little camp grows and thrives.
I'll consider it.
I trust you will listen to your conscience.
Yeah, the problem is, because generally I do agree with her that, you know, life in Edgewater is barely a step above slavery.
Oh, that's Thomas. He used to follow me around before he left the cannery.
Or maybe it's actual slavery, because, you know, just after a different name, because they are essentially owned by that corporation, and I think that sucks. But the problem I have with cutting power to the town is, regardless of the reasons why, people are still probably going to suffer. Like, there are sick people, they might die without power.
If you're hungry, Stefan's got supplies.
Wait, I have 2 plasma rifles? Or is it the same one? Nope, those are different ones, so I might sell those, because I don't need 2 of those.
Didn't see you there. I was just occupying myself with a little engineering. Whoa, Miss Parvati. Hey, you're, what, how are you? Hi, hello.
Are you, are things safe out here? How are you keeping?
Great, just great. I've been trying to keep stuff running, just like you. Only I'm not so... Wait, they didn't kick you out, did they?
Oh gosh, no, I'm just along with this fella here.
Are you from town? I mean, you don't exactly look like you're from town.
I'm just trying to get my ship off the ground.
Never heard it phrased in such a way before. I guess we're all trying to get our ships off the ground, ain't we? Sorry, I just wasn't sure if you were from town or if you were one of us. something's been chewing at me, you see. Fact is, I've been, well, lying. To everybody here. Camp thinks I'm a mechanical genius, but I couldn't fix a busted chair.
Never too late to start learning. I could give you a couple pointers.
I'll take all the help I can get. I set my mind to learning the craft of the engineer, you see. I want to make something of myself. You ever heard of the Young Spacer's Guide to Mechanical Engineering? Comes in a set of 3. If I had my hands on one of those data pads, I could teach myself the ins and outs.
Those are good. My dad kept a copy with him when he was working in the cannery.
I know the old community center kept a copy. Should find another one back in town. If you could find me even one of those pads, I'd be greatly obliged.
Well, today's your lucky day. I've got one of the data pads you wanted.
No kidding. Really? Well, which one?
Part 1. Found it in the community center archives.
Look at that. Building a computing machine out of Spectrum potatoes, a primer. I'm just glad it survived all these years. I appreciate you going through all that trouble. In fact, I put aside something special, on the off chance that somebody'd search out those data pads for me.
I'll let you know if I find the others.
Sure, I'd be glad to take them off your hands.
I wanted to ask you something.
What's on your mind?
How long have you lived here?
Couple months. This camp's my home. People you see milling about, they're my family. At least I think of them that way. I owe them my life. Would have died in the wilderness if they hadn't chanced upon me, starving and delirious.
What were you doing out in the wilderness?
We all left the cannery for one reason or another. Me? I was let go, mostly on account of my incompetence. I mean, I was incompetent. I couldn't even survive on my own. Grace found me, Adelaide took me in, I've been on my feet ever since.
You weren't incompetent. You just didn't fit the cannery. Not like here. This place had a U-shaped hole, and now it doesn't.
You could stay, you know. Here. I'd be happy to... I mean, we could really use... this isn't coming out right. If you want, Adelaide would make a place for you.
Keep your wits about you, friend.
Something I can help you with? Fresh.
Okay, so I can safely sell this and this. And I still have one copy of each. Now, as annoying as that probably is, I will actually fast travel back to my ship. Because it would be terrible if I died right now and lost all of that progress. So I'll grab something to eat. Now, I do have a couple of marauders to kill. The question is, do I know where they are? Actually, yes. All right, so I'll go and do that. Abandoned settlement. Interesting. Yeah, that's exactly why I wanted to save, because I was afraid of something like that happening. come on! Flaw tutorial. During your adventures, things may happen to your character that can trigger a flaw offer. Taking the flaw is optional, but doing so provides you with a perk. Pithecophobia. After repeatedly getting beat up by primals, you no longer function well when they attack you and your companions. Additional poor perks. Pretty cool, but no for now. Like, I'm dying often enough as it is, without any additional flaws. Okay, so it's not exactly here that the Marauder leader is. But still, clearing this out certainly didn't hurt. What's that? Looks like a spaceship or like an escape pod. Nothing you can do with that though. Okay. I'm concussed. Okay, so I can heal my companions as well. I will take the carrying perk, because I do have a lot of problems with carrying capacity. Okay, where's the body that I'm supposed to loot? Yeah, because he was reduced to ashes. Okay, so I haven't been here. Oh crap. That was a close encounter.
So
Okay, so that's the third Marauder Chieftain.
I don't know anybody who ever came out this far.
Oh, you're that woman that they are looking for. So you did run away to join the Marauders. Let's...
Wow, you crossed them all off, like some sort of heroic accountant running down a list. Teach me your ways.
You're Zoe? Your people are looking for you.
What, you mean Adelaide's little congregation of nature-loving nobodies? I could not possibly be less interested in them. You, on the other hand, you were a sight to behold. If I had half your skills, I'd be the greatest outlaw the coast has ever seen.
I've been sent to find you.
Why? Adelaide wants me back on garden duty or something? Thanks, but I'm not going anywhere. This is where I belong.
I'm not sure if you noticed, but everyone else is dead. You should go back, people are worried.
I doubt that. Nobody in that camp really cared about me.
What about Stefan? Stefan was planning to surprise you with an episode of your favorite serial.
Wait, you're telling me he's got a copy of The Masked Marketeer? Why didn't you say so? I'll take my stuff and head on back, I suppose. Grace is gonna be glaring knives at me, so I've got that to look forward to.
Alright, take care. Alright, so... this is in the geothermal plant. One of those volumes is supposed to be at the cannery in an unused office. And then I have this and this, which is already finished. So I'll go back to town, and this way I can also save, because it's... Damn, I walked into a mine. Because it also saves when I go back to town. Okay, so apparently the copy of a book is in an unused office somewhere. do think it's in here somewhere. Right here. I don't think anyone was using it, seeing how, judging by the fact that Parvati's father is dead, he must have left it here a couple years ago, probably. Okay, now I have a choice to give the medicine to this guy, who's supposedly, partially his problem is supposedly psychosomatic. This woman claims she's going to distribute it more evenly throughout the workers, which I don't know if she's telling the truth, but it's not like I have... it's not like I have any particular reason to distrust her, so let's just give her the benefit of the doubt.
I've got some time.
I've got the medicine you were after.
Thanks. I'll see to it that this medicine gets to the people who need it. Here, something for your trouble. Nothing personal, but I hope we never do business together again. Don't want to make a habit of consorting with smuggler types.
I'm curious, who are you going to give that medicine to?
Somebody deserving. Silas on account of him being out in the cold. Amelia seeing how she's around people all the time. Anybody in the sick room?
Alright, that's very fair. I hope you will live up to your end of the bargain.
I wonder what I'm doing with myself.
Nothing I can do about that.
I've never actually been in here. Seemed scary from the outside.
Something to report?
Yes, I'm in to turn in a bounty.
We pay by the finger. What do you have for me? Gil Antrim. Real name, Guillaume. Duly processed by a freelancer on behalf of Spacer's Choice. I remember him. I was just a kid last I saw him. Shame. I'll just need your signature here, 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 and here. Got any more fingers for me? Mabel Burgess. Age 37. Right or left-handed? Let's just say no longer applicable. I remember Doc Burgess. Conducted my physical every fiscal quarter. Guess she couldn't keep her hands off her patient's medicine. Still one outstanding bounty. If you've got a finger, I've got the paperwork. Here we are. Bertie Cotton. Cause of death. Let's just say overwhelming physical trauma. Bert was the local preacher before Max took over. Always was quick to remind us that we all get what we deserve in the end. Well, that's all three. I must remember to requisition some more fingerprint ink. Here's all the compensation you've earned, plus a bonus.
What's this? A junior deputy constable?
You've done such a bang-up job hunting down our former workers that I thought it only proper to deputize you. Congratulations.
How did so many of your people end up marauders?
Let me stop you there. It is official Spacer's Choice policy that all marauders, regardless of prior affiliation to the Spacer's Choice brand, no longer qualify as our people.
Doesn't really answer my question, though.
Marauders are folk who lost the will to keep working, wandered out into the wilds and gave into their baser instincts. Not everyone's cut out to work in Edgewater. Some turn deserter, some turn marauder. None of them get my sympathy.
Marauders seem to like Adrenatime.
Everybody likes Adrenatime. It is the finest medical drug ever developed by Spacer's Choice. Much better than that crap anti-Cleo pedals. Sure, a little too much Adrenatime can bring out the violent animal in you, but if overdosing on Adrenatime turns you into a lunatic, you have only yourself to blame. Says so right on the warning label. Violent psychosis is a well-documented and legally accounted for side effect of Adrenatime.
Great.
What's on your mind?
And by great, I mean not all that great, but still.
Been eating nothing but salt tuna for a year.
Don't let the boss catch you saying that.
There's a third one somewhere, but I don't know where. I'll ask at the church. Maybe the preacher will know.
You have to admire the architect's sense of humor. French. Ha!
You're all right, Vicar?
Oh, perfectly. I destroyed my life out of a misguided devotion to my calling. Why wouldn't I be all right? The architect may not concern itself with the universe, but it does seem to possess an incredibly droll wit. Go on, do whatever it is you plan to do. Assuming there is a plan.
You're overreacting a bit, don't you think?
Overreacting? Do you have any idea how many years I spent in... No. You couldn't possibly know, could you? I've spent my life searching for the keys to unlocking the secrets of the universal equation that underlies the plan. I had hoped this book held some of those answers. I became so desperate, I even got myself assigned to this plague-ridden backwater to find the damn thing. All the time and suffering I've spent. Wasted.
Plague-ridden backwater. What happened to all your crap about leading your flock?
Please, those dolts? Nothing could be more excruciating than discussing the true nature of reality with people who have no interest beyond their next Aetherwave program. But that's neither here nor there. What I need to do now is to find a translator, obviously. But to do that, I'll first need to secure transport. You have a ship. Perhaps I could make myself of use to your crew.
Could be a beneficial arrangement. You need a ride out of town. I wouldn't mind the ship end.
Certainly. I already gave you most of my money, but I can offer you free spiritual counseling, and I'd be happy to watch your back. I'm pretty handy with a tossball stick, or any blunt instrument really. I'm also a passable gun hand if it comes to that. I can usually talk my way out of conflict, though. Oh, I'm fairly competent at hacking computers as well.
That's all part of your vicar training?
Well, understanding computers is, though I admit I took it further than most. And I was quite the 32nd back during my seminary days. Left many an opponent bleeding on the field.
Alright, let's go.
Fantastic. Let me get my things in order and I'll catch up with you.
Edgewater's gonna miss you. Folk here always had good things to say about their vicar.
Thank you, Ms. Holcomb. I'll be glad for the change of scenery, and to leave this place behind. I shall see you on the ship, Captain, whenever you're ready to leave Emerald Vale.
Alright, so that's another companion.
I'll meet you on the ship when you're ready to depart from Emerald Vale, Captain.
Alright. Cool. Still don't know where to find the book, but still. That's some major progress, so... Okay, and I assume that's saved, right? Yes, indeed it did. Alright, so that's all for this one, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!